Yo, what's up? Santi here. For those of you that are new, this is my second channel dedicated to all my other interests that don't really fit well within my first channel. So with that said, I'm just starting this channel pretty much, and at the time of recording this, I still haven't settled on one single name. I was thinking of Santi of all trades. If that's the name, that's cool. I do want to share a couple of ideas because I do believe that being a jack of all trades is one of the great gifts that you can be given when you come into this earth. And if you look at my website, that's how I describe myself, is one of the first things that I have when anyone pops in here. And here I have a list of my interests. I love a lot of things. I love languages, productivity, computers, filmmaking, and yeah, I just love expressing my creativity in any way that I can. And I want to kind of empower that in others, because what am I doing with this? It's something that I do want to share with you. Is a bit of my thoughts on what happens when this idea of being a jack of all trades is a bad thing, is an undesirable thing. So I actually want to react to a couple of videos that have triggered me in the past. This one in particular, I really don't like this video. I watched it a couple years ago. I had to just close YouTube and go play with my kendama right here. You know? Woo! So yeah, I love my hobbies, I love my different skills, I love developing and learning new passions and new skills. So we're gonna react to this video and I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts.
Are you a jack of all trades? Jack of all trades, master of none. I still remember when I was struggling financially and I was jumping from one thing to another, going from one idea to another, going from one business to another, looking for that perfect business, looking for that perfect opportunity. And I had 13 business failures before I found my first success.
Isn't that how business works? You know, you try things, you explore different avenues, you fail, and then you keep going. Like I thought that was kind of a prerequisite. Sorry for pausing there. What is your name? Dan. Sorry, Dan.
And the problem was because I was chasing all these things and I was doing a little bit of this and doing a little bit of that, and I was dabbling. You notice when you dabble, you never achieve mastery and you never achieve greatness. You look at in any industry, in any endeavor, even think back Michael Jordan when he was the greatest basketball players of all time. And then when he went into baseball, remember that? Comment below. What happened, right? Didn't do so well. Went back to basketball and kicked ass, right? Championship.
Oh man, this one's so tricky because, I mean, honestly, he's kind of right. Obviously, Michael Jordan was way better at basketball than baseball, right? But like, should we try to put people in a box? Be like, hey, you do basketball, don't ever touch another sport. Not even, like, what happens if Michael Jordan was way happier by playing baseball? But this guy, Dan, doesn't want him to play baseball. I mean, I think it was great for Michael Jordan to try that. And I actually watched a really cool video the other day being like, Michael Jordan wasn't at his peak game when he retired into baseball. Actually was kind of like, that was the thing that he needed at that point in his life to kind of reset him. And then he came back really strong. So I do believe that sometimes we do need to make changes in our lives that help us regroup ourselves, and the combination of different skills, even lifestyles or different careers, can really open your mind to see something that other people can't see. So yeah, it's a tricky point. I don't think he's completely wrong in that, to be honest, but yeah, we'll see.
If you think about people who try to do a lot of different things, they don't do that well. But the problem is when you dabble a little bit of that, try a little bit of this, try a little bit of that, you never develop skill sets. So what I did instead,
What do you mean you don't develop skill sets when you develop skill sets? Like, that's what I don't get about his point. He's kind of saying, like, if you develop too many skill sets, you won't be able to have skills. But what? You know, and like, he said no one that ever, something like, no one that dabbles in different things have ever been successful, something like that. I mean, Leonardo da Vinci? Come on, man. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Developed my first high income skill. Right? Once I had that first high income skill, which is copywriting. Once I had copywriting, then instead of trying to learn all these skills, you're trying to do too much, especially if you're a young age. Instead, focus on one thing, get damn good at it. And how do you know you're good at it? The marketplace is telling you you're good at it. They're paying you good money.
So he's definitely not wrong on that part. But yeah, okay, let's just see what he's
getting paid, well paid, doing this one thing, then you can stack on your success. Instead of thinking like this, your energy, instead of going like this, all over direction, right? It's focus. And then once you have the first thing, then you stack on the next thing, right? Then my second skill is consulting. That's my second income skill. And then I build on that, the high ticket closing, and then deal making and public speaking and investing and so.
Well, okay, so this is interesting because now he's talking about maybe starting from like doing one thing only and then expanding into doing more things and perhaps becoming a jack of all trades with time. And there's definitely some truth to that. I don't think that's completely wrong. But didn't he just say that you should do only one thing? That's where I find it a bit confusing. Plus, I don't know about you, but like in my experience, life is never as easy as a chart that just pans out perfectly step by step. I think life is chaotic. You start from here, then you move there, then you go back, and then you just like keep moving back and forth, and you don't know where you are, but you're just hoping that everything connects at the end. You know, there's idea, and this is like a Steve Jobs quote. I can't believe I'm gonna quote Steve Jobs, but okay, I'm gonna read it. Okay, so here's a quote. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in the future, Steve Jobs. And I think that's a really great quote because this is how life works, right? And Dan over here, our friend Dan, he's kind of laying out all of the skills that he developed that took him to where he is now, you know, which obviously he does look successful. He's definitely at the top of his game. That's admirable. But he's kind of describing different things that now he can list in order and even reflect on what order he stacked the skills upon, you know. This he can only do because he's looking in hindsight at his life. It's really hard to just wherever you are be like, okay, this is the plan, this is the ladder that I'm gonna climb, and this is the perfect order in which I'm gonna achieve to where I want to go. But it's hard to do that when you are here in the present. It's easier to do it when you are in the future looking back like Dan is. So that's the problem, you know.
Now, I didn't try to develop all these skills overnight. It's just one thing at a time. Knowing that any good skill, I could tell you this, any good skill, it takes years.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I can obviously agree with that. You know, like skills do take years, skills do take a lot of time to develop. And he did say that none of this happened overnight. But the part that I personally just don't resonate with is he said, I do it all one at a time. And that is where for me life starts to get stagnant, where I only focus on just one thing and do nothing else. That's literally when I start getting depressed, when I start like not knowing who I am, or like I just start having all types of doubts. So whenever I kind of combine the different hobbies that I have, try to build different skills at the same time, at least for me, that's personally when I feel the most fulfilled. So yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, how much time am I devoting to this one thing and be world class at it? World class at it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, obviously we disagree in the fundamental aspect of what is success because to me, well, maybe this is my lack of ambition, but like I don't want to be world class at one thing. I'd much rather be really good at different things. And I forget who says this, but it's like a classic thing that everyone quotes whenever you talk about being a jack of all trades, which is like maybe you're not the best comedian, maybe you're not the best marketer, but you can be decent at both. And when you combine those two skills, you have something unique, you know, something that could be more meaningful to the marketplace and to yourself. And you can actually stand out by stacking up skills that probably people haven't combined, you know. So you grab something, for instance, you might be an architect, but also a painter, and your blueprints of something can just like stand out and be just that much better than any other architect that can draw, but you're actually a painter, you're an artist, you're next level on that, you know. That's just to give you an example. So yeah, let's see the final epic conclusion of Dan.
My entire life, I'm only good at handful of things. Handful of things. Because I was so focused. I'm very, very good at closing. I'm world class at closing. I'm world class in building businesses. I think I'm pretty damn good at investing. That's about it. Other things in my life, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I suck. I don't know how to cook. I don't even know how to change a light bulb. No joke. I actually do not physically know how to change a light bulb. I don't know what light bulb goes where.
Come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. There's some basic things that I believe are useful to know. I mean, okay, fair enough. If you have enough money, you might just hire your servant to change your light bulb for you. But I fundamentally disagree with that. Like, you know, I think it's admirable that he's world class at the things he says he is. But honestly, not being able to change a light bulb, not being able to be useful to yourself, being able to, well, actually having to be dependent on others to survive, basic survival, or just basic fixing something in the house. I don't know, man. That sounds to me like being a bit useless. And I'm sure this guy has enough money to not worry about that. But yeah. This is horrible.
Because my whole life is about focusing on a handful of things, the major things that makes a difference, right? Most people, they spend their whole life majoring in minor things. So stop being a jack of all trades and be a master at the one thing, the one skill, the one thing that would get you everything else you want in life. Until next time.
I don't know, man. Okay, so the problem with Dan here is that he and I have something in common. We're both saying like, okay, hey, I'm like this, therefore you should all be like this, you know. I'm a jack of all trades. I'm kind of saying like, hey guys, you should be like me, you know. And this guy's saying like, no, I am a master of one, I only do one thing, you should be like me. Obviously he's the guy with the money here, I'm just a guy with a mustache, but I'm tidy mustache actually. But yeah, fair enough. I think we can all, like, the problem here is that Dan over here is kind of denying that some of us do have it in our nature to want to do several things, and whenever we're trapped into one box, we feel helpless. At least that's how I felt in the past. I don't want people that are like me to feel like shit just because other successful people, and fair enough, he's successful, but he's not the type of success that, for instance, I want to replicate, you know. So I think it's useful to kind of have a bit of like the counterpart. I don't see many people standing up for us jack of all tradesmen, so I have to do that. So help me with that in the comments. If you do disagree with me, please let me know so that I can make more videos like this. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. See ya.